Well, good afternoon. I'm Ron Aaron Eisenberg, your host for this presentation of GPA Live. We are a virtual education program brought to you by the Global Pain Association. And the whole idea is to focus on topics that are connected to chronic pain, try and provide help for folks who are struggling with it, and trying to give them some information not only on how to battle chronic pain, but ways in which you can also bring some enjoyment to your life. Today's topic is healthy dessert cooking. We're going to have a demonstration, and this answers the question, can you eat healthy and have really tasty desserts as well? We'll find out. Our special guest is Sonya Jackson. She's been with us before. She's a fitness nutrition coach and a certified personal trainer. Now, Dr. Susan Blackwood has today off, but I wanted to share with you some information about the Global Pain Association. Susan is the president and founded GPA. Besides this show, Global Pain Association Warriors, a support group, meets on the first and third Tuesdays of the month at 7 p.m. And GPA Warriors is open to anybody who is dealing with or has chronic pain, or their loved ones, or people who are just curious about what chronic pain can do for you and how you can get help. If you want to sign up for the Global Pain Association Special Support Group, just go to the website www.globalpain.org. Also, you can email us at GPA at info at globalpain.org. And if you wish to donate, we'd certainly welcome your tax deductible donation. Just go to globalpain.org/donate. And we look forward to having you participate in this program. I want to take a moment now and introduce our special guest. Sonya Renee Jackson is the owner of Unique Physique, which opened in 2005 here in San Antonio. She has a BS in kinesiology, is a certified personal trainer, and a fitness nutrition coach. She worked in the health and fitness industry as a professional for more than 20 years. Nutrition became a passion through her own experience with autoimmune disease. Sonya, it is great to see you. Thanks for joining us again.
Thank you for having me back.
For those who may have missed the show you were on recently, share with us what autoimmune deficiency and disease is all about and what the pain was like that you were suffering.
Yeah, so it was probably about 17 years ago that I just started having a lot of the symptoms like chronic like inflammation and I mean just crazy swelling and I'm like, what is going on? I'm working out, I'm eating, I'm a competitor, so I really, was eating what I was supposed to, what I thought was the best thing, for me and working out pretty much every day and started seeing all this inflammation and I'm like, what's going on with me? I know something's not right. So through a doctor client of mine at the time and then a clinical nutritionist that I got in connection with, we figured out that it was celiac that was the problem. And so obviously, that paralyzes the cilia in your intestinal tract and just causes your body not to be able to absorb the nutrients that it needs to, and then therefore causes, the inflammation. And so having the joint pain, having the swelling, I mean, the pain when you touch your skin, just all of those things I was having. And once I changed my diet, it completely changed my life.
And you actually got in the business of cooking healthy foods.
I did. I actually had done some meal prep and things for clients before, and I, obviously cook and do my own meal preps because I do compete. So I have to, figure out how to prep my meals when I'm getting ready for show. But through COVID and needing some extra revenue because of everything going on, I actually ended up starting back my meal prep business. And so I've been doing these, and the protein pancakes that I'm going to share with you today have been a major hit. So, and I'm excited to share it with you.
Now, I want to take a moment and thank those of you who are joining us in the chat room and those of you who have shared this broadcast. We encourage all of you to click share on the Global Pain Association Facebook page because others then can participate as well. And among those who have shared, Sonya Jackson, thank you for sharing this. Now, Sonya, one of the things that you're going to be preparing for us today, you mentioned protein pancakes, but the way you make them, they're like a dessert. And
Yes.
that answers the question everybody has. Can you eat healthy and still enjoy tasty desserts?
Actually, there are so many things out there these days. Again, when I started having this trouble, 17 years ago, it was a little different story, but now they have so many products, and I have a lot of different ideas to show you of things that will give you a little bit more of a feel that you're not depriving yourself if you're trying to cut out sugars to help with that inflammation.
Now, you mentioned sugar. I have a good friend who is a medical doctor and a primary care physician who will tell you that all sugar should carry the poison label.
Right. Yes. I mean, sugar really is it is a killer, and it feeds cancer. Not only is it pro-inflammatory, and we know that most diseases start in the gut. So if you have that inflammation starting, then it's just a matter of time before systemically you start having other issues. So eliminating the sugar from your diet is so key if you have inflammatory diseases.
Well, let's run through this checklist.
Yeah. So obviously, I mean, I said before, so sugar causes inflammation, which is obviously going to increase pain. So we're trying to decrease the pain. So we want to decrease the sugar intake. Instead of going cold turkey, though, because I know it's really difficult just stop it. I usually have my clients just try to start learning new foods that have less sugar, replacing them, with the lower sugar options until, gradually they are able to have that as a lifestyle. And that's the key is you've got to do it to make a lifestyle change. You can't just do it for a little while. You've got to make the lifestyle change, or that inflammation is just going to come right back. So, and then a lot of times, people like, fruit's healthy, but the deal is that if you eat an excess of fruit, that fruit turns to sugar. So it's actually going to do the exact same thing if you were eating sugar, regular sugars in excess. So I really recommend, if you are going to eat the sugar, that you go with a more low glycemic with, I'll have over here. So berries are my favorite. They're lower glycemic. They've got fiber in them. They've got antioxidants. So I really like those.
Now, what are some of the other low glycemic fruits? You mentioned berries. What about strawberries?
Yes. So I've got strawberries here, blueberries, raspberries, blackberries. All of your uh, berries are going to be in the lower glycemic range. Your apples are going to be on a medium range. Bananas are going to be in the highest. Watermelon are going to be up high as well. So you want to kind of try to keep those, more out of your diet if you're trying to eliminate the sugar and the inflammation in your body. The main thing is, do some research, educate yourself, or hire a professional that's going to be able to help you. And understand that it's going to take time in order for you to change your taste buds. If you're a sugar addict, I actually really like sweet things. So I've really tried to come up with things that are going to be healthier substitutes so that I can feel like I'm not depriving myself, yet I'm satisfying myself, but I'm also doing my body good. And as soon as I go into that, if I get off my eating plan and go crazy and start increasing the sugar, then the pain always increases.
Now, you've got
So
some
this is
great
a way
tips to
that you can
follow.
manage that pain.
You
Do
got
what?
some great you have some great tips to follow when
Thank you.
eating to combat pain.
Yeah, so I actually, when I was on here last time, if anyone saw it, I shared these as well. But I know that it sometimes takes tons of time to reiterate in order to really get those tips and things that you can do to help yourself. Um, Fresh, organic, non-GMO, non-processed is the best. So you really want to look for those things that don't have very many ingredients in them. And then with your proteins, you want to get a good amount of quality proteins in. Focus on wild caught salmon and game, grass fed, free range, chicken and turkey. um, those things are going to be the ones that are going to cause less inflammation because they don't have all those hormones added to it. And again, we just want to stay as clean as possible. So eat good fats that are high in omega 3s, and keeping the ratio from omega 3 to 6 in check, because once you get a high amount of omega 6s, then it actually is pro inflammatory as well. So corn and soy are actually one of are those that are high in omega 6. So nuts and seeds and avocados, olive, coconut oil, oils that are cold pressed or minimally processed are going to be the best. But you want to get a good amount of good fats in there, because that's going to replace some of your carbohydrate intake with you lowering your sugar and help keep you satisfied as well as the protein. So you see underneath it says eat small amounts of carbs. So you want to avoid the wheat, the rye, the barley, and a lot of those foods that are containing gluten, because they, in excess, they're gonna turn to sugar. So they're gonna do the same thing. So if you're like, okay, I'll cut out sugar, but I'm gonna eat a ton of carbs, breads and pastas, it's gonna do the same thing. So you have to learn to portion control. It's so important. And I teach nutrition workshops and do nutrition coaching to try to help people learn, what the amounts that they need for themselves, and their goals. So eating veggies and fruit in moderation that are low glycemic, as well as lots of green leafy veggies. Cooking with herbs is great too. It adds flavor, but also can help with the inflammation too. Adding cinnamon, ginger, turmeric, garlic, rosemary, cayenne pepper, and black pepper are some of the ones that are going to help with the inflammation. And
I
then
notice.
avoiding
I say I
sugar.
notice you don't have
Do what?
salt on that list.
Salt. So honestly, I'm not saying that salt helps with inflammation, but actually salt isn't that bad if you are using the like Himalayan or sea salts. It's the other kind of sodium that you find as a preservative in a lot of your packaged food that actually is the bad kind that's going to cause the swelling. So minimum, using some salt is okay. Um, and then again, we talked about the sugar, but really focusing on getting things that don't have high fructose corn syrup. And with your artificial sweeteners, try to keep them to the minimum. Stevia based, also monk fruit is another popular one that has come out that's similar to stevia in the natural sense. So those things, watch for those and try to stay away from the sucralose and like the aspartame types of stuff. Eating small meals a day, 5 to 6 times, keeping that blood sugar stable to avoid overeating. A lot of times we just don't eat and then we end up eating too much. Your body cannot process it and you end up spiking that blood sugar because you haven't, you eat too much at one time. So if you just space it out throughout the day, every 2.5 to 3 hours, then you can get, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and 3 small snacks a day. So avoid the gluten, the dairy, soy, other inflammatory foods such as corn, uh, and then drink lots of water. I know it's hard to do, but 1 ounce per pound of body weight is typically what they say is good. And I know sometimes that's even hard, but you could do, a combination of water. Yes, coffee is water. It has caffeine in it, and that does, it is somewhat of a diuretic, but it's still part of the water. So, you can include those, but try to drink plenty of water, in there. Green teas are great for inflammation as well, other herbal teas. Avoiding sodas, not only because of the sugar, but also just all the preservatives that are in it, and then keeping that alcohol to a minimum because alcohol actually does cause inflammation. So maybe an occasional glass of red wine. Obviously, it says 4 ounces. So just keeping it to a minimum. Uh, and then dark chocolate, 70% or higher, actually can be beneficial in helping with inflammation as well.
How much of the dark chocolate?
Oh, a couple pieces, not a whole bag. This right here actually is that I have is from Lily's, and it's a stevia based sweetener that they use. It's actually 55%, but yeah, it really actually tastes pretty darn good. And I actually put these on pancakes with a little bit of peanut butter, and it really tastes amazing. So
So,
it gives me a little bit of the chocolate fix.
yeah,
Sometimes even if I'm just wanting a little sweet, then I'll just get a little, handful of them and then take that as a uh, as a snack. And it's got 4 grams of fat. It only has 8 grams of carbs, but 5 is fiber. So basically, if you know anything about subtracting the fiber from the net carb, you only have 3 net carbs and a gram of protein. So these are actually a really good snack. They even make the bars at the store in that brand as well.
and you can find those at HEB.
Yeah, I think you can find some of them at HEB, Sprouts. I know Target sells some of them. So yeah, you can actually find them quite a bit of place.
Cool.
Mhm.
Back to the slide.
Yeah. So how can inflammatory foods help the pain? Well, obviously, if we decrease the inflammation, we're going to decrease the pain, increasing the fluid retention, which causes you to have that pain feeling or a limited mobility. When you decrease the body fat and result in weight loss, then you're going to decrease the pressure on your joints. Decreasing body fat will also result in weight loss and obviously overall health improvement. So really important, to take these tips and use them because they can not only help your pain, but help in the weight loss as well. And then to feel your best, your body always needs to be in a state of homeostasis. So your nutrition, obviously key, but exercise, moving that body. Uh, Lifting weights is so important because you need to maintain and keep that muscle mass because that keeps your metabolism going. Also, it helps the circulation in your body, so it's going to help the pain. Sometimes you may have to work through a little bit of pain to get through, but if you have a professional, we can manage and help you get through that pain. Sleeping is so important. 7 to 8 hours is really important to get the inflammation down, as well as stress management. Because we know when that cortisol is high, then that affects your inflammation factors as well. So it's really important to follow an anti-inflammatory diet and take these steps to help you increase your ability to fight inflammation and just increase your overall well-being. And then I kind of touched on those, but really these key foods and things to avoid are just major. Sugar, the gluten. I find my clients lose weight easier, but obviously you take out the gluten, you take out a lot of the pain as well. Omega 6s, keep them to a minimum. Saturated fats, and then alcohol. I know a lot of people don't like that, but really the alcohol can really be a big factor in increasing your pain.
Sonia, before we go to this slide, let me ask you very quickly, where do you find to avoid? What are those foods that have omega-6.
Repeat that again. I'm sorry.
What foods have omega-6?
Omega-6.
Yeah, because we
So
don't want to eat
corn
it.
is a big one, and obviously we know that we eat a lot of, especially if you're in San Antonio and you go to Mexican food places, yeah, corn tortillas, chips and salsa, those things, and soy as well have a high amount of omega-6. And then also if you're eating like fish that have been farm fed, they're also fed a lot of corn, so you're going to get the omega sixes in those. That's why wild caught is so much better than for you to do the farm fed.
A doctor I know said to me, if you wonder about corn, just remember when they send cattle to fatten up to go to show or to be slaughtered, they feed them corn.
Right,
So
right,
that gives you a pretty good idea what corn does.
right. So I don't get me wrong. I love my corn tortilla chips, but I have to keep them to a minimum. So only every once in a while.
Now, Marvin asked the question, knowing that you do food preparation. He said, I live in Houston. How do I get your food?
She said what? I'm sorry.
He said he lives in Houston.
Oh, Houston.
Yeah,
Oh
how does he
man,
get your food?
he would have to come see me every Monday to pick up his food.
Well, it's a good reason to come to San Antonio.
He would have to come to San Antonio to visit
Okay.
it. It's
Now,
like because I prep it on Sunday and have everybody pick it up on Monday, so it's as fresh as possible.
tell us what you're going to make for us today.
So I'm gonna make my protein pancake recipe. I sell these like hotcakes. Everybody loves them, um, and I'm gonna share this with you because you can take that pancake the way I make it, and it's low in sugar, but it tastes honestly like on its own like dessert. But there's so many things that you can add to it in order to make it even taste more like dessert. So I'm excited to share that with you and show you how I make it. Super
All right, let's
easy.
watch. And you've got an
All right.
assistant. Dr. Marianne Pinkston is
Yes.
with you.
I have
And
my client and one of my best friends with
ah,
me. So she's a product of of my training.
Yes, I am.
And she's addicted to my protein pancakes.
These pancakes are so amazing, and they're all protein and they're very low sugar, so you can eat them and get full, so you can't eat too many. And you are healthy, even it's like candy, but you don't eat too much. I mean, how can you do better than that?
I'm like,
all right,
trust me, you
Sonya,
don't want to eat too much.
show us how you make
Because,
them.
okay, so I take my little, and this is a fairly small NutriBullet is what I use. I kind of have it perfectly put here. So I'm going to take 1 cup, and I use this.
Got it.
I'll do the eggs first. So I'm going to do 1 cup of egg whites.
I'm going to show you this because this is like very important. So she uses a nice little 10% protein silk almond milk.
Yeah, so it actually has 10%, 10 grams of pea protein in it.
My bad.
So, so it's got 10 grams of pea protein in it, and then I'm putting a cup of egg whites. So basically, this is all protein so far.
It's all protein. That is protein milk, and that is the egg whites.
So there is no sugar in this milk. So we are sugar-free. Then I'm going to take and I'm going to put 2 teaspoons, of a Smart Balance right here.
Smart. So
Yeah,
so this is like Smart Balance, like a butter substitute. So you're not using real butter.
So I'm keeping it dairy free on that end.
And dairy free is very important because dairy can be very inflammatory these days because of the antibiotics, and they grain feed with inflammatory grains.
So I'm going to put 2 scoops of my protein powder here.
Now, what kind of protein powder
So
is that?
the protein
You asked
powder
a question.
that I use is from Purist Labs. It's called Keto Feed, and they have several different flavors. This one is that one butter pecan?
This is
Butter
the
pecan.
creamy butter pecan.
Yeah.
So yes,
It tastes amazing as just a protein shake on its own, but it makes amazing protein pancakes. And I will give you the info, or it will pop up on the screen. Yeah, if you go to www.pureslab.com, you can put my discount code and get a 10% discount off of the protein powder. And I love it. It's the best as far as taste. It mixes well. And then I'm going to take a half a cup of the Birch Benders. This one's the keto pancake mix. So again, it's going to be low in sugar and higher in protein. So your carbohydrate is going to be low. And your fiber is high. So it's got 5 grams of fiber and 10 grams of carbs per 1/3 cup. So again, really low. So I'm going to take that and then I'm going to blend it. So I'm going to have it already mixed up in another one, but I'm just going to take it, put it in a blender, and that will give you the pancake mix.
and it's just pancake mix like usual. I'm going to spill it if I turn it too much, but it's pancake mix.
So I'm going to take my bowl of pancake mix here. I use a 1/8 cup to make mine. Each pancake is going to have about 10 grams of protein in it. It's going to have about 5 grams of carbs, 10 grams of carbs and about 5 grams of fat in there. So I'm going to spray with this olive oil spray here. And
that is what she's going to come up with in a few minutes.
And then I'm going to throw these on. And it ends up making, depending on, it's always a little bit different, but between 12 and 14 pancakes per recipe that I just showed you. So they've almost ate all of my pancakes here.
There were like 14 of these on here, and we have cleaned them up. They are so good. Oh my gosh!
And they're just eating them with nothing on them. So
I mean, just like candy, just like this. Just
will you look in there and give me a little plate? So we're gonna let those sit for just a second. And the thing about it is, it's real easy, to flip a pancake, but just making sure that it's not too runny on one side, and then we're gonna flip it. So I have the temp at about 350.
it's this little griddle. It's so easy.
It's like $20, I think.
Yeah,
at Walmart.
Exactly. Just so easy, and she makes it look so easy. That's her.
But while we're waiting for that to flip, some of my favorite toppings to add, I told you about the chocolate chips, using just a little bit of peanut butter. I mean, obviously you don't want to go crazy, but, throw a little bit of peanut butter on there, a couple of chocolate chips.
But not just any peanut butter. So she uses this, and this is, a low sugar, because a lot of peanut butters have a lot of peanut butters have a lot of sugar and oils that are not good. So,
and then as far as syrup, if you just want to do plain old pancakes, I am in love with this new maple monk fruit syrup. So there's no sugar in it. Tastes really good. It's a little more watery, but the taste is amazing. And then this is another one that I really love too, the Walden Farms 0 calorie. That one tastes really good too.
So she dresses all of this up, but you got to be careful about your additives and adding a whole bunch onto stuff, because then you add calories. So take it easy.
Now, the beauty of Walden Farms,
pancakes by themselves are great.
Walden Farms has no fat, no calories, no sugar, just great taste.
Exactly.
Just
And no
really,
carbs. Yeah.
So
it's like for
delicious
real.
pancakes. They get nice and fluffy. As
They
you can,
do.
I think you can kind of see.
They do. They get so fluffy.
So they taste amazing off the griddle. They still taste good if you want to make up like I do, but a bunch and put them in the refrigerator or in the freezer.
So she'll make up, 15 of them or so, 12 to 15. She'll put them in a container. I'll keep them in the refrigerator, and sometimes they'll last 2 weeks. And I will go. I'll grab two out of the refrigerator and keep them out, and I'll just munch on them during the day as a snack. It's like candy. It's really very, and it's not candy at all. It's very healthy.
So I'm going to show you because I got to show you what it looks like.
Fresh.
So we can show you what it looks like when it looks like dessert. Right?
Exactly, and warm. Oh my goodness.
So hang on. Yeah. So we're gonna do the peanut butter.
Okay.
So I'm gonna take that and put a little bit of peanut butter. Again, I'm just like taking a little bit and I'm just gonna put it between the layers. So I might be getting a tablespoon worth.
Maybe a tablespoon.
Okay.
Just a taste. But it's extra protein.
And then I have some chocolate chips that are open over here.
And these are the chocolate chips.
So these are the chocolate chips that I showed you. And then I'm just gonna put them on the top.
So this is the chocolate chips that she uses. It's a dark chocolate. So.
And then because these are warm, it's gonna melt.
Oh yeah. Oh my God.
And then the other choice of things that you could do that would be fun. Hang on one second. I'll show this and we'll use that then.
Okay.
That's so delicious. Yeah, that whipped cream is like Cool Whip, but to me it tastes better. I also really love Halo Top. I wasn't able to find it at the store today, but I found this, which is also from So Delicious, and there's no sugar added.
It's ice cream.
So it's made with coconut milk. So love those. But my fave
Oh my Lord.
is the coconut Ready Whip.
This stuff is like you squirt in your mouth, like like that. I'm serious. No, you think I'm kidding? This stuff is simply amazing.
Really
All right, let's keep this
tastes
show
good.
G-rated.
What's that, Ron?
I said I want to keep this show G-rated.
I'm sorry. I have to apologize, but it's crazy amazing, really.
Just a little bit.
This is
That-
mine.
That looks good enough to eat.
It looks
I'm gonna
good
let
enough.
her. I'm gonna let her have that. Here, and then
Inhale is what we'll
I'm
do.
gonna put just a little bit
Of
of
syrup.
the syrup.
Guys, this looks like decadent, but it's healthy, and there's no way that you can avoid not inhaling something like that. But you don't have to feel guilty about it, and that's the beauty.
So,
All right, now let me ask you before we have to say goodbye to you. Sonya, this has been fabulous. For those who are interested in getting a hold of you, I believe we have some information we can put on screen to find you. You not only are a trainer, but you also do meal prep, right?
yes, I have a few spots left for taking meal prep. Fortunately, everyone's really taken to it on my clients, but yes, get a hold of me. We'll see what we can do. And I also can do nutrition coaching. Again, it's super simple. I know it just takes time to prep that stuff. And I know I'm like looking over here like at her enjoying this pancake.
It's a segment of
So,
I
yeah.
Love Lucy.
Yeah, right.
Now, here's the recipe for those of you who are asking on our chat room. Sonya's protein pancakes. And remember, you can always go back and download this program and stop it and start it on your computer so you can, or do a screenshot and you'll have this recipe. Screenshot's probably the quickest way to get it. And here's all the ingredients. Uh, Preheat the griddle to 350, and you're going to end up with those incredible protein pancake dessert specialty. And we really appreciate Sonya coming on with all of this information. Some of the toppings to add, and you saw them here, include the peanut butter, the dark chocolate, and the Halo Top ice cream, non dairy.
This is good. She's cooking. She's cooking a few more and trying to ruin my life and my diet here.
And then here's the contact information
Oh,
for Sonya. Sonya, thank you so much for sharing this with us. It's obvious that you can enjoy a very healthy, sweet tasting dessert, and we thank you for that. And now, Dr. Marianne Pinkston, I want you to take just a moment,
yes,
put your GPA board member hat on.
I'm here. Yes.
Dr. Susan Blackwood, who normally joins us, is on leave today. Tell us a little bit about the Global Pain Association and why you got involved.
So, Global Pain Association has been a godsend to me. I'm so thankful for all of you guys involving me in this. And it is a nonprofit association that is involved in trying to help bring some resources to chronic pain sufferers, but not only chronic pain sufferers, but to the caretakers and family members and friends and anybody who wants information. So, we have also created a Global Pain Warriors group that is involved in, or is a support group. So on the first and third Tuesday of every month, we have a support group, and this is free to anyone that wants to join. And that is anybody that is a caretaker, a friend, just or somebody who's in chronic pain that wants to join and understand and get more resources and information. So we are doing that the first and third Thursday from 7 to 8 p.m. So please join us. Go to info@globalpain.org for email, or you can just go to globalpain.org and get the Zoom link and then join us every Saturday like this, where we have a fantastic topic and just to keep growing and giving more information. Thanks to you guys.
Thank you very much, Dr. Marianne Pinkston. Another thank you, too, to Sonya Jackson for an incredible presentation. We thank you for that, Sonya.
You're
Next
welcome.
week on Global Pain Live, GPA Live, April 17th at noon, physical therapy for pain. And what that means is how to use physical therapy to combat pain. Our guest presenters, physical therapy students from the University of the Incarnate Word. And if you have questions you want asked, email those to us at info@globalpain.org. On behalf of our executive producer and director, Gina Galaviz Eisenberg, also happens to be my wife, thank you to Dr. Susan Blackwood and the board at GPA, and also Sonya and Marianne for a great presentation. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week on GPA Live. Make it a date, put it in your calendar.